Hey guys, I'm Greg. Welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's go see what's in the fridge today, guys. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Gun Hill Brewing. They're out of the Bronx in New York. This was sent to me by my brother Rico. This is a foreign stout coming in at 7.9%. I don't have the IBUs listed here. Let's look over at Untapped. They say on Untapped it's 30. So, not too big. Should be fairly sweet. Fairly big beer too. It says foreign stout, 7.9%. Classify that as an imperial or a double. It's not listed as that, but foreign stout. Some of those beers, the foreign stouts, have a real nice, big, robust taste, and some of them are kind of more in the English style, which are a little more subdued. I don't know what to expect from this one, so we'll find out here in just a minute or so. Commercial description says, all light vanishes here. The pitch black color and cocoa espresso aroma and flavor are derived from roasted barley, while the complexity is enhanced by the strength of the foreign style stout. And the note that Rico sent me on this says, Void of Light, winner of the 2014 GABF. And that's the Great American Beer Festival, is gold medal. So awesome accolades for that beer from those guys out there in 2014. So they've been doing this beer for a little while. It says from their official website, what I just read you there about all light vanishes. No candy to be found, but I did get it as fresh as I could because he picked it up at the brewery. And it was $16 for a 4-pack. So, not too awful expensive for an almost 8%er. And it is sold in a 4-pack, like he says. So, Rico, once again, my brother, I do appreciate you picking these Gun Hill beers up and sending them to me because I cannot get them here. And evidently, they don't have a big distribution since he had to get it at the brewery. So, another reason why those guys, when their brewery only releases, they don't have a dating machine because everything's sold at the brewery and everything goes out the door and they don't have to worry about it sitting on the shelf for a long period of time. So, that's all we need to talk about. So while I pop this open, I will tell you, goes well with your chocolate dishes, dessert, digestive. The meat is smoked meat and grilled meat. And this is a big 16-ounce can and it is pitch black. Let's go down the center and see if we can generate a little head. Glassware, pint, bacaronic, tumbler, snifter. I got my favorite snifter. It says here can be sold for a long periods of time. It doesn't say they brewed it with coffee, but it says cocoa espresso. So I don't know if they've introduced any coffee into the making of this beer. If they have not, it should sell it for a while. Not much head. Barely covering the top of the beer, and like I said, pouring it, it is pitch black, just like the commercial description says. It is a very stout-ish color. Some of the stouts, you'll have a little red rubbiness around the bottom of it. And mostly I lean toward the porter versions that have that red rubbiness. And it depends on what the brewery wants, the brewer or the brewery wants to call it. If they want to call it a porter, they can call it a porter. If they want to call it a stout, they can call it a stout. It's all up to them. Especially now that we're doing imperial porters and barrel-aged porters and all that kind of stuff, guys. The fine line there is very muddied now. Used to be the porters were a lower ABV and the stouts were a heavier ABV. Basically the same ingredients. So, pitch black. Let's get a nose on it. Yep, and I'm not getting that super big, robust cocoa in it. And like I said, a lot of the foreign stouts or English stouts are a little more subdued on those characteristics. Rich roasted malt. Just a slight hint of a little bit of cocoa in there. And it's right out of the fridge. Some of those aromas will open up and be more apparent once it comes up to room temperature. Not a lot of chocolate on the nose. And there may be some dark fruit in there, but I'm not getting it right now when it's chilled. Well, let's dive in and see what we got. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. A little bit of alcohol on the nose. Rich roasted malt. Definitely got some bittersweet chocolate in there. Coffee. It's probably going to come out a little more. I am getting some faint hints of some coffee in there. I don't know if I would classify it as espresso right now. We'll let it warm up and see if I think the coffee comes out more stronger. And a lot of times it does, guys. If it wasn't brewed with coffee and you're getting those espresso coffee-ass notes from the malt, sometimes they're a little more subdued when it's 40 degrees. Very tasty though. That is very, very tasty. You may even step up to the plate and say it's delicious. Very nice. But it's a little more subdued. To me, it's more of the, it says foreign style, but to me, just my opinion, it's more of an English stout. A heavy English stout. So let's let it warm up. Before I say anything else and put my foot in my mouth and twist my head around, let's let it warm up. Let me sip on it for a while. I might step out and have a cigar to go with this and let her taste it and see what we end up with. Yeah, that's a hot tip. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got a little bit left here. Went very well with the Maduro wrap cigar that I was smoking. Y'all probably noticed that the clock's not on the wall back behind me there. Yeah, when we painted the walls, I went and bought these little 3M strips that you put on the wall and hang your stuff on, your pictures and everything. Those things are garbage, guys. Everything that I've hung on the walls with those things have fell off the wall, just like that clock did. And just like everything else in here that I've hung with those, it fell off the wall. Don't buy those 3M strips to hang pictures or anything. They're garbage. And if you try to pull that thing off, it's supposed to not damage the walls, it pulls the damn drywall coating off. They're garbage. Waste of money. So now I got to put a nail or a screw in the wall to rehang everything that's fell off the wall. So those 3M strips, garbage, garbage. This beer, it's not garbage. It is very, very tasty. I am getting a rich roasted malt now that it's warmed up. A little bit of the coffee that I wasn't getting when it was right out of the fridge. It still, to me, tastes like an English style stout. And they're calling this a foreign stout. It doesn't have the big, robust taste that the American brewers do, and they quadruple everything just to be super imperial or whatever. But for what it is, it's very, very tasty. Very easy drinking for an almost 8%, 7.9. Very nice. It's a very nice beer. Not a lot of dark fruit in it. Maybe just a hint of maybe some raisins or something. Very easy drinking, very smooth. Like I said, the IBUs are very light on this. What I tell you was 30? Yeah. 30 IBUs. Very, very nice. Not super sweet. I don't think they use any lactose or anything in the brewing of the beer, but very nice. Very tasty. Final chug. Very delicious. It is a very tasty beer, guys. I know Rico went to the brewery and picked this up. I would like to see some kind of date on it or vintage on it. Just me, just my OCD, but when you're picking stuff up at the brewery and it's not distributed, small distribution, if it's any at all, they don't feel it necessary that they need to purchase some kind of dating machine or anything. So, and I understand that. I do understand that. But I would still like to see something on there. Even on one of those price guns sticker on the 4-pack, so you'll know. We just did this one last week or the week before. Whatever, just to let you know. In case the beer somebody goes in and buys 4-packs and they want to trade some of this and it sits in their closet or whatever for a couple of months or 6 months, and then they trade it to somebody else, and then you have no idea. So that's just me, guys. Y'all know me. I'm OCD on dating, and even if it's almost 8% stout, I would like to know the vintage anyway. You know, was it done in January of 2017, 2016, 2015? And I'm sure it's probably a 2017 beer, if not the end of 2016. So it's still going to be very, very tasty. I just like to see it. Just me. It's just me. A- on this one, guys. Very, very tasty for the style, and tells you it's a foreign stout. Foreign style stout, not American style or anything big, huge, robust. Very nice for the style, and it tells you that on the can. That's what it is. So, like I said, A- for me. Numeric rank on this one is be a 90. That's where I'm going to put it. And over to Beer Advocate, they say 88. Pretty close numbers there. I'm 2 away. And over to Rate Beer, they say 94. So I'm in between those two numbers. And our final check-in, we'll run over to Untapped, and they have it at 3.98, which is right at the very bottom of their A scale to A- scale. So we're in agreement there. A lot of times I'm in more agreement with the guys at Untapped. They seem to have their head screwed on right, and they don't need something that's going to blow their hair back or the socks off to give it a good rating. And this is a decent beer. It really is. For the price, $16, you're looking at $4 a pop for a 16-ounce can. Not bad for an 8% stout. So reasonable. It is reasonable. So if you've had this one from Gun Hill, the Void of Light Foreign Stout, let me know what you think. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll see everybody then.